Hey guys, welcome to the Trophy Life podcast. I'm your host, Tara Smith. From beauty to wellness, wife life, motherhood, and everything feminine in between, the Trophy Life podcast is a place where you can feel inspired and empowered and ultimately create the life that you desire and deserve. It's hot to romanticize your life, so grab a mocktail or your favorite cozy beverage and let's get into it. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trophy Life. For this week's episode, your girl is really going through it with pregnancy, so we're just doing audio today. So even if you're listening on YouTube, we're just really honing in on the full audio experience. But I am so excited to answer your questions that you guys asked over on Instagram. I put a little question box on the Trophy Life Club Instagram. It's just at Trophy Life Club. And then also on my own personal Instagram. So first I'll go over some of the questions that were on the Trophy Life Club Instagram. I got a lot of questions, so I just want to dive into it because I think if you have any questions about my pregnancy, I think there's a good chance that I will be able to answer it. So oh my gosh, this is a hot question. First question of the day. How many times did it take for you to get pregnant? Okay, so I'm just going to share my experience and be authentically myself. So I got pregnant for the first time last October 28th of 2024. Or was it the 26th? I can't remember. One of those days. And then I ended up miscarrying my baby due to my thyroid levels being too low, my TSH specifically, in mid-December. I've learned so much from that experience and hopefully take this as your sign that if you are trying to get pregnant or are getting pregnant soon, or if you are pregnant, to get your thyroid levels checked and be your own advocate as well. So yeah, that took me my first try. And then I got pregnant just recently. And once I got cleared from my doctor and my TSH was in a place that I wanted it to be at, which was I wanted it at like a 2. And I think it was just below a 2 when I got pregnant. And that also took me my first try. So both times for me getting pregnant was my first try. Also, I'm so sorry. I am so winded all the time when I talk with pregnancy. It's just kind of, if you know, you know. So it's kind of an interesting thing, by the way. I think a lot of people think that, oh, if you have a miscarriage, you have infertility, which is not the case at all. I think people connect the two when usually if there's a miscarriage, in my experience, there's something that you can control to help mitigate that in the future. And my pregnancy, the first time around, I was so sick. I was throwing up like 1 to 2 times every single day. Started to get more and more recurrent as I got further along, and I miscarried at 9.5 weeks. So that pregnancy was about a million times harder than this one has been so far. And this pregnancy, I've just had nausea. Haven't thrown up at all. Like my nausea's kind of picked up more recently because I'm actually 7 weeks today, which will be a question I know someone will answer. So I guess I just answered that one. So yeah, I'm 7 weeks today, and so far this pregnancy has just been so much easier than, like, just a lot more simple than my last one, which I'm very grateful for. No questions, just so happy for you. Thank you so much. You're so kind. How are you feeling? Yeah, so I'm feeling really good. I am just very tired. My nausea, like I was saying, has kind of picked up. I noticed it picked up literally like at around 6, maybe 6.5 weeks is kind of when I started to notice it was a little bit more intense. And thyroid medication's tricky because you have to take it on an empty stomach. So the waiting game in the morning while I'm waiting to take my thyroid medication, while I'm waiting to eat after taking my thyroid medication is an interesting kind of situation to be under, but I do try to take it when I get up to pee in the middle of the night. I feel like that helps a lot. So any girls who take thyroid medication, a little hot tip. I actually do that I started doing it even when I wasn't pregnant as well. Okay, what are your earliest symptoms of pregnancy and how early did you get them? I actually feel like I got pregnancy symptoms immediately before I even knew I was pregnant. And I think I was just very calm and chill. I've been very peaceful and calm this whole time. And in my 2 week wait window, I had a lot of those like very twingy type feelings pretty early on. Like I want to say maybe like 4 DPO, 5 day DPO. Um, and then I actually wrote down all of I did like a whole video on Instagram, like a get ready with me that was basically, let's take a pregnancy test. Here's all the reasons why I think I'm pregnant. So if I were you, I would just go listen to that if you want kind of like a more in-depth kind of, you know, situation. But I didn't really have any sugar cravings, and I normally would crave sugar like right before I start my period, which was weird. I was just really not having an appetite overall, and then peeing in the night, that's like a huge one. I feel like a lot of women start to experience. And then also the vivid dreams. Oh my gosh, the vivid dreams were so crazy. Now I feel like vivid dreams are just like a normal part of my every night experience where I just don't even really, I don't know, most of the time I feel like I don't notice it too much. But I was also very tired. I was taking like 2 hour naps in my 2 week wait window, sometimes even 3 hours every single day, which I was like, maybe I'm fighting something. Like, it was so crazy. How are you managing your anxiety and fears being pregnant again after loss? Okay, so again, I'm going to share my experience. I feel like once you've experienced like the worst possible outcome being losing your baby, there's just no, at least in my mind, I'm like, there's no reason to be afraid. And I actually did have some spotting a few days ago, and I messaged my doctor, and I've been on baby aspirin, so there's a good chance that that is why, because you can have a little bit like, you can just have a little bit of bleeding if you're on baby aspirin. So I'm pausing for now, and then I'm going to resume again. Just kind of, I might just intuitively do it when start taking again when I feel like it. But yeah, I don't know. I felt so calm when I saw my positive test. And I feel like if you watch the video of me finding out I'm pregnant, you can just tell how calm I look. And I don't know. I feel like my first pregnancy experience it was so traumatic where I'm just like, I just know that that's not going to happen again. That's just very much so how I feel. And I'm doing my best to do things that put me mentally in a good place. However, I feel like in early pregnancy, your emotions are just so all over the place that it's really like you have to kind of tell yourself, like, if you are overthinking something, just don't overthink it and like distract yourself. Like, hang out with friends, go on like a date night with your husband, go on a drive, go on a walk. Walking's incredible, and getting fresh air when you're in your first trimester. Oh my gosh, it hits different. It's the best. But yeah, I feel like that's one thing that's really helped me. Another thing is like I've completely removed anything like from my life that was causing anxiety around that. So I stopped wearing my Aura ring, which I think was really an important thing for me to do personally, because I was noticing that it was causing like a lot of health anxiety. Like one morning I woke up to take my husband to the airport, and I had only gotten like 3 hours of sleep. And of course my temperature was not the same measuring at 5 a.m. on 3 hours of sleep as it would be when I normally wake up, which is like 9 or even sometimes 10. Like I'm letting my body sleep, and I am completely okay with that. It is so worth it to me. And it like really was freaking me out. And then I went back to bed like after, and I still had my Aura ring on, and it retook my temperature, and it was completely normal. So, and the other thing too that I've really been thinking is I'm just like, women have been giving birth, and so many people get pregnant, and there are so many success stories out there. And so I really think that like focusing on good, and when people, if they do bring up, negative pregnancy stories, I think it's just good to like kind of in one ear and out the other. Like, don't hold on to that. Seek out positive experiences, because it's just, there's so much more good than bad. And I think the fear narrative around pregnancy is just, it's really, it really bothers me, honestly, and it's kind of unfortunate that women have been told they can't do something when like our bodies are quite literally made for this. And I think it's cool the mental challenge that comes along with pregnancy. I've been feeling recently like I'll get into that because I actually know someone asked a question on that. Someone said, "How are you feeling?" Oh wait, did I already answer that? Yeah, I did. No wait, that wasn't the one I was thinking of. Um, oh yeah, how have you been feeling over the last few weeks? Congrats. This is a different question. So yeah, I feel like this is one thing I wanted to talk about though is like mental health wise. I do think that it's okay to again be feeling like a little off. Like one thing that I've been noticing is I just feel like I either like cry at everything or I feel like my emotions are like numb, which I guess is common due to like rising progesterone and stuff like that. And so I think it's just good to not judge yourself. And it's very weird for me because that's not something I'm necessarily used to. And so, yeah, it's been a very like, it's just, pregnancy is so humbling, but seriously, in like the most beautiful way because you have so much control over a lot of things, but then you also have so little control over the majority of things when it comes to pregnancy, but there's also like something so beautiful about that. So, yeah, I really, really have enjoyed my experience, even the days that are a little bit hard. When are you due? So, I'm trying to decide if I want to share my due date. I don't know. I may in the future, but right now, like I'm going to be having a winter baby. Um but I don't know, there's just something about it that I don't want to share yet, um but baby will be due in winter of 2026. So, that's technically my due date, but who knows when baby decides they want to come earthside. Um what has been the weirdest symptoms so far? Weirdest symptoms. I didn't write any of these questions ahead of time, by the way, so sorry if I have to think about it for a second. I feel like nothing has actually been that weird. The weirdest thing is always never knowing what you want to eat because it just throws you through a loop. Like last night I was so hungry and I've been noticing that I get really hungry right before I go to bed and I just want to eat like something with a lot of protein in it specifically, not like sugar. Like I want like tacos has been something I've really been craving recently, which I'm like, okay. So, and I was out of groceries last night and I really wanted either a grilled cheese, a baked potato, or a taco. And I didn't have any of the ingredients to make any of that. And so I ended up Uber Eatsing Del Taco. Never in my life have I eaten that besides now when I'm pregnant. So, but when I tell you it hit, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to judge myself for it. I eat so healthy, literally like 85% of the time, even when I have been pregnant. And so I'm just not going to judge myself for it. Like today I had, my husband brought me home a lunch from, it's called Vessel Kitchen while he was at a work lunch. And it was, I wanted this Thai salad. Like randomly salads have been really good recently. I think I've just been wanting like cold food. I don't know why. Because at the beginning of my pregnancy, I wanted like all warm foods. So, you know, it's just so different every day. Like, I'm like, it's so fun though. Like, and especially when you look at it on a week to week basis, I've been tracking like all my symptoms week to week, and I'm just going to film like get ready with me's. And it is so fun to like see the differences and everything. Okay. How far along when you announced it to people? Okay, so I, again, did what I wanted to do. And I told my family on Mother's Day, and I was 5.5 weeks. And then I also told everybody on social media that exact same day, a few hours later. For me personally, I do not see the point in waiting because I did that my first pregnancy and I regretted it so much because I would share if something happened to my baby regardless. And so I don't know. I don't know why there's like this rule because I just knew somebody who lost their baby at 20 weeks. So I don't know where this rule like came from where it's like, oh, you have to wait until 12 weeks, which seems to be like the standard. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't really subscribe to that idea, I guess. And I think every life deserves to be celebrated, no matter how far along you are in your pregnancy. And I also really wanted to bring you guys along like from essentially the very beginning because I never really saw that with content creators, and so I thought that that would be something that's very cool. Okay. How did it feel to get through it without fear? I'm scared since my miscarriage. Okay, yeah, so I already talked about that, but yeah, I think really like for me, religion is a huge part of my puzzle, and I've been studying a lot on being faithful over fearful because the narrative that you play in your head over and over again, especially when you're pregnant, is so incredibly important. And like it's everything. It's like your perspective on different things. It's what you're thinking about, especially when something like sketchy can like if you have spotting or something happening. I've also had like a decent amount of cramping, which all of my friends that I've talked to, I've actually tried specifically not to like go on TikTok. I talk to people that I know and I try to kind of like treat my pregnancy either a little bit like maybe I would in like if social media didn't exist. I have talked to like some creator friends as well, or like kind of like this forum where it's like a Q&A, but not just like going on TikTok and typing in like early cramping and pregnancy and then like being flooded with like the videos, because that's very different from, either asking a question to somebody again in a Q&A format or talking with a friend. Basically the same thing. So yeah, I think that's been a huge thing for me. And I don't know, I just feel very calm, very confident. And even on days when I don't feel like, even on some days where I feel like my emotions are maybe a little bit more heightened, I am very grateful because my husband's obviously amazing, but I'll pray about it and I'll do like some scripture study. I'll listen to a general conference talk and it helps me immensely. Like it helps me so much. Okay. Let's see. How's your mental health been being pregnant after loss? So happy for you. Thank you so much. The mental health aspect of being pregnant after a miscarriage is like I don't it's so interesting because like I've kind of been saying in this episode, I really do feel like I feel very calm and I'm just soaking up every single day and just taking every day like one step at a time. Like a lot of people will be like, "Oh, I just wanted to get out of my first trimester." And I'm trying to have the opposite. I'm not trying. I am having the opposite attitude where I'm just like very much so enjoying every single minute of my experience and I'm incredibly grateful for that. Oh, someone said how far along are you? I'm 6 weeks and I have a feeling we were synced up. Oh my gosh, I think I was 6 weeks when um when I posted this Q&A. That is so fun. List of supplements that you were taking pre and during pregnancy, please. And then someone asked for the brand of my prenatal. Okay, so I'm kind of weird with my supplements, but here's what I'll say. I think that food is a great format to look for nutrients in. So I really try to not eat a lot of like fast food. I do not drink any soda or like energy drinks. I definitely don't drink any caffeine and I cut out any form of caffeine. I want to say, well, like I would say a few months before I got pregnant, but then when I was in Hawaii, I had like a few matchas or something. Um, so I think it was the month before there was like no caffeine in my system because I wanted to be like completely cleared of that. Um, but like I drink things like raw milk. I love orange juice. I love lemon water, and all of those things are so incredibly nutrient dense and they really support egg quality. And I also take like beef organ supplements. Like I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this on the podcast before, but I love the Heart and Soil supplements. I took the Her package supplement let's see, I think I've been taking that since, was it summer of 2022? Yes. Yeah, summer of 2022, because is when we moved back to Utah. And it helps a ton with egg quality, and it just supports your ovaries and like everything like that. And yeah, it's like every time I've gotten one ultrasound done, this was before I was pregnant, like on my the uterus and ovaries and everything, and she was like, everything looks like incredible. And I really believe that that is from the Her Package supplements. And then I also take their beef organ supplements. In my pregnancy, I've been taking their beef liver supplements because it just intuitively feels right to me. I do have like all pretty much I buy all their supplements, and like I've been a customer of theirs for a very long time. And I think it's just very cool because to me it's just like God and nature's way of like it's just God and nature's multivitamin essentially. And it's something that is very, very popular in a lot of countries that are much healthier than the US. And so I kind of just do research on those cultures and their fertility and all that kind of stuff. And so I really think it's also a big reason why I got pregnant immediately, along with like my diet. Like I really try not to eat highly ultra processed foods as like the majority of my diet. I try to just eat like a lot of ground beef, a lot of salmon specifically. I don't really eat a lot of chicken actually. I've been eating it more actually being pregnant, but it's not really something I normally reach for. Like I just love ground beef so much, and I love Whole Foods has really great options as well, like the Force of Nature. When it goes on sale, I'll just stock up on that because it's like $9 a pound, which is pretty reasonable for ground beef, and it has organs in it. And so I just bought like 10 packets of those because they were on sale, and I was so excited. But yeah, I would say that's like a supplement in a way, is like the food that I eat. And then things like cottage cheese and Greek yogurt as well. And with those foods, I don't ever buy like the flavored kind. It's always like the plain, just pure. And then I'll sweeten it with like honey or maple syrup. Just because I really like to kind of keep things very natural based. Like if you were to go eat things that are grown in nature, that's like, I try to have that like the 80% of my diet. Obviously in pregnancy, it's been weird because like, again, I was just saying, I literally have never eaten Del Taco, and all I wanted was a soft taco. And this is literally the only thing that sounded appetizing to me. But I think from eating so healthy before pregnancy for years and stocking up on all those vitamins and nutrients and getting out in the sun, getting vitamin D, it just really helped my just my pregnancy journey and fertility. And I think it's really important. Like I hope that this episode is inspiring to you guys, because I know for me, like I feel like on Instagram everything's like miscarriages and infertility and like, oh, this person can't get pregnant, and this person, and it's kind of just like, wow, like especially if you're single or if you're not ready to have kids yet, maybe it's like a little stressful. And I really hope that I can flip that narrative for you and have it be something that you're faithful in, and something that, like I really hope that this like boosts your confidence and gives you hope, because I'm basically telling you everything that I did. And I really don't know if I hadn't have essentially switched. I basically was on an animal-based lifestyle, as like because I don't think it's a diet. It's really like a lifestyle for me. And it's essentially just eating whole foods. Like I love like arugula as well. I love just adding onions and herbs to my food. I love making like stews and like with a lot of gelatin, and again, things that just really support fertility, like pomegranates, just so many random things. Actually, let me share with you guys some of my favorite accounts on Instagram, if this is something that like is kind of speaking to you. These accounts are incredible and I think really helpful. So, Paul Saladino is awesome. His Instagram is at Paul, and then it's like salad and then INO MD. He posts a lot of really great educational content around food and just kind of like the nutrients behind it, and exposing a lot of the corruption like in the food industry. And that's been really helpful for me to learn over the years. And then another girl, I really think she's so cute. She's actually like, she's kind of like a mom content creator, but she posts a lot of like better options to find at Costco, like very, very realistic and yeah, easy to learn from. And her Instagram is that crunchy mom Kate. She's great. And then the last account that I really like is called The War Kitchen. So they just kind of post like their account's like kind of fun because it's just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like Pinterest meets Canva a little bit, but they'll post like great fertility, boosting foods, like, or they'll just, post about like sourdough and how it can affect your milk supply in a good way. And just like so many really helpful, fun things. And I love using the internet like as a tool to learn. And yeah, like my mindset is always open, and I'm always wanting to learn. Okay, last question. Any weird food cravings or aversions? Oh wait, there's actually a few more. Never mind. Okay, so food cravings, it seriously changes on the week and like every week. But I don't recently, like pickles have been sounding very good. Root beer as well. So I got this brand, it's called Maine Root, and it's just carbonated water, cane sugar, and spices. And oh my gosh, I get it from Whole Foods and it's so good. It's seriously amazing. And I really like that. And it doesn't have any of like the high fructose corn syrup or, all the chemicals that most soda has in them. So it's just a better option for me to have when I'm pregnant, since I really am like very adamant about not drinking soda. There was actually one time where Colby drove me to In-N-Out and I literally thought I was going to throw up. So I was like, you have to get me Sprite because I need, like, I wanted ginger ale, but they didn't have that. I was like, I need that. And I drank it. Like, I was like, again, I'm just constantly doing my best. And if there is a better option, then I'll buy that. It's usually trickier when like I'm out, I've noticed. So yeah. And then, okay, wait, food. Let's see, what other cravings have I had? Recently, I've been really liking salads, like I was saying, cereal randomly. So I got this brand called Three Wishes, and I got this cinnamon cereal from them. And my brother and I are obsessed with the Waffle Crisp cereal. It tastes very similar to that. So I was like very excited to try that. So I really like the Three Wishes brand a lot. And I try to not get anything with like seed oils in it as well. I really try to avoid seed oils and just stick with like coconut oil, tallow, ghee, butter. Just really try to stick away from those since they're very inflammatory, and I've already got enough going on in my body, so if I can eliminate all the inflammation that I possibly can, then that's great. What was your hub's reaction? Okay, let me tell you guys the story of how I told Colby. So Colby does not like to be on camera, by the way. So the moment was just something that me and him shared, but it was actually our 7th year wedding anniversary the day before I told him. And so I found out in the morning and he was working. So he was upstairs still with me and he was working in like his office upstairs. And so I was like whispering in my video because I didn't want him to hear me. I think he was on the phone, which ended up being good. But I had gotten him this hat that said like, it says like Dad Gang on it. You guys have probably seen it all over Instagram. And like 3 years ago, he was like, when you find out you're pregnant, like give this to me. And I forgot about it the first time I got pregnant. And I think the first time I got pregnant, I was like shocked that I got pregnant on like the first try. And so I was just like, oh, I don't have the hat. So this time I took the test, went and gave him the box with the hat in it. And then I put a pregnancy test in the hat. I was like, hey, I have a early, sorry, let me grab a drink really quick. I was like, hey, I have an early wedding anniversary gift for you. Here it is, like open it. He's like, okay. So he opens it. He's like looking at the hat. He's like, oh, that's so cool. And he was kind of distracted because of work. So he didn't notice that it said Dad Gang on the hat. And he opened it and he was like, oh my gosh. He's like, you're pregnant? And I was like, because it said, pregnant, like on the Clear Blue Digital. And so it was so cute. Like he was genuinely shocked because I told him that I wouldn't know until the day after our wedding anniversary because I wanted to surprise him, which by the way was so hard to like even keep a secret for 10 minutes. Because I was like, oh, it'd be so cute if I told him like tomorrow on our anniversary. And I was like, there is just absolutely no way that I can wait that long. There's no way. So that was very fun and very cool. Okay, what are things you're eating in your pregnancy that are like unique? Yeah, that are like unique. I mean, I definitely don't. I personally eat sushi, oysters, deli meat, like sandwiches, like all those things. I kind of just don't see. Here's the thing is like I have talked to so many of my doctors, talk to your doctor, of course. That kind of goes without saying. But all the food and like the sushi that I get is incredible quality. I like know the chef. I wouldn't even eat there honestly if I wasn't pregnant. Like I wouldn't just eat at some random sushi place. Same with like oysters, like all that kind of stuff. And again, I kind of just look at places like Japan, Asia in general, and women eat a ton of sushi when they're pregnant. And I do like to kind of avoid high mercury fish, so I don't really love to eat like a lot of tuna per se. I'll stick to usually like salmon. But like oysters have been something that like if I feel like my body craves it, then I feel like it's craving it for a reason. And it's been really good because I've been craving a lot of salty foods. So that's been something that has been really good. I've eaten sushi once because again, I really wanted it. Does not sound good to me like at all right now. Same with like deli sandwiches. But yeah, I guess that's weird, but again, that's like I think there's risk with everything, and it's funny to me that people are like more scared of high quality oysters or fish versus like highly processed foods that are made from chemicals that also have a ton of are linked to like a lot of damage. So I just kind of think, you have to do what works for you. No judgment from me. I don't like, yeah, I just think that, yeah, whatever works for you. And of course, if you are seeing a doctor, whatever your doctor says as well. Okay. I think that's all my questions. Let me just go through, make sure that's everything. But yeah, I forgot to tell you guys my prenatal. So beyond the Heart and Soil supplements, I have also been taking the Thorne prenatals. It's linked like the exact ones I'm taking are in my ShopMy. So if you go to my ShopMy, you'll see the Thorne prenatal and the DHA that I take there. Oh my gosh, you guys, my throat, like I'm just so dry. Like my skin is so dry. My mouth is so dry. I'm going to start having to like mouth tape every single night because normally I don't sleep with my mouth open, but I've been noticing that because my nose is like getting more stuffy, because I feel like that's again like a pretty common symptom of pregnancy is your nose being stuffy and your throat kind of, just being like a little bit itchy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to sleep with my mouth tape on so I'm not ever mouth breathing at night. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I loved talking about this. I can't wait to chat more about pregnancy and bring you guys along this journey with me more and more. Yeah, I'm so excited. Oh, by the way, I will, once I finish my registry, I don't know when, honestly, maybe I'll just do it sooner because who knows, like I'll probably change my mind a million times. Well, maybe not a million, but with a few things. I asked everybody on Instagram, I did like a question box and said like, what are your what's the word I said? New mom must-haves type of a thing. And there were so many answers. It was crazy. Like within an hour, I had like 150 replies on there. And I was like, whoa, I don't even know where to begin with this. But very exciting, very cool. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so grateful to be pregnant. And I think it's cool too. One thing I've been very intentional with, I was like, this is my first time being pregnant too, is I really try to not complain. I'll share my experience that I'm having, but I'm never complaining about it. I'm just sharing like what's happening to me or how's my body feeling. And I'm really grateful too that my family knows so early on, because they had no idea that I was pregnant. And I was so sick my first pregnancy, and I was like, I'm never doing that ever again, because it was just a lot. It was a lot. So it's been really nice having everybody know, but your girl is feeling nauseous, so I'm gonna log off for today. I don't know if I'll be doing video on the next few episodes. We're gonna have to wait and see, just because this, I don't know, it's just kind of, this has been interesting to like be filming while also feeling so incredibly nauseous at the same time. So sending you guys so much love. Cannot wait to chat with you next week, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did. Before you go, I have something exciting for you. I'm doing a giveaway. So to enter, all you need to do is rate and review the show either on Apple or Spotify. Make sure that you're subscribed to the show, of course, so you never miss an episode. And head over to the @TrophyLife podcast Instagram and leave a comment on my latest post and let me know what your favorite takeaway was from today's episode, or comment some emojis, just something, and that will basically enter you into the giveaway. The more that you engage, the higher your chances of winning are, so don't be shy. This is something I'm going to be doing ongoing, so even if you're listening to this episode later, you can still go and comment on my most recent post, and it will 100% get you entered into the giveaway. And if you haven't already, come join the club at Trophy Life Club. This is just a community for the girls who like to romanticize their life and want to become the best version of themselves. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at Tara Kelly Smith for more content. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next episode. Love you. Bye.